What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Maura Ash, of course, the Gumbo Radio Show. Our team is here and live in the building today for the It Still Takes a Village. Let's put the guns and the drugs down event for 2023, sponsored by Young Dro, and a host of amazing sponsors. So I'm here with Miss Karen Renee of the NAACP Atlanta. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here. Talk to me a little bit about your organization. I hear the NAACP all the time, no matter what state I'm in. I hear it all the time, right? But I feel like a lot of people may not know exactly what you all stand for and what your organization does. Can you give us a little bit of background on that?
Yes, I'm with the Atlanta NAACP, and we're part of the hosting committee here. And we've been around since 1917. Our mission is to stomp out discrimination among black and brown people. And we do understand that we're in a crisis and with our gun violence, especially with our young people all across America. And Atlanta, Fulton County, it has no exceptions. Today, we want to really focus in on how we can help our young people go in a different direction. And we understand that's through legislation, mentorship, and family. And that's one of our reasons for being here. Even though we've been on the ground helping, encouraging young people to get out and vote and to make a difference in our community, we also want to make sure that the disparities that they're facing, economics, and gun violence is all about. A part of this is economics, health disparities, social justice, and of course discrimination. When we're dealing with gun violence, especially with our young people, we look at the economics behind this. A lot of them don't have money in their pockets. Parents are now having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to keep the lights on and housing. And what does that mean for our young people? It means that they're home alone. That's right. Lack of attention. Absolutely. And so what we're trying to do here is try to figure out how we all can come together, like it takes a village, to provide mentorship, funding for them, and to create a safe environment for all of them to be in a cohesive thought that guns are not the answer.
So, this whole event and topic is interesting, and it's very, very heartfelt for me because not only am I a part of this community, I live in Fulton, I stay right off of 285, I'm invested in this community, I have 3 children in this community, I have 2 boys in this community, right? And so, what you said, I work 3 jobs, I have my own business, so children are at home a lot by themselves. I'm grateful that, I have a 2-parent household and that the way our system is that our kids are kind of like mature enough for us to trust them to a certain extent and give them so much, so much rope that we can trust them with, right? My concern comes in is like, at night, I'm laying in my bed on the computer or something. We hearing the gunshots outside. We hearing them, whatever they doing, and they arguing and they have their drama and stuff. And it's like, I hear it and I'm like, wow, I'm glad that my son is not outside. But if I wasn't home and he was outside, how do I prevent this? So this is something to me that it's like I would like to learn and even know like ways that I can keep my kids safe. With it being what you said, little time invested right now. It's hard. I mean, the bottom line I feel like in society right now is that people need to understand that it's hard for everybody right now. Even with Christmas and stuff, a lot of things were just smaller than normal, and it's getting harder. So what is your advice, I would say, to people who have children that want them to do the right thing and they may not be doing the right thing, but things like this, like how do we come together and how do we get the parents more involved to start to make those changes?
And let me tell you this, I think everything is local. Let's start working with your local city council members. And so that what happens is, you mentioned something that was real interesting, the gunshots, right? I'm also an elected official in the great city of East Point. What we're doing is we're looking at putting what they call shot shooters. What happens is it kind of helps narrow down the sound of the gun, where it's coming from. Like, for instance, if it's on East Point and Main Street, it can help narrow it down, because when we hear it, it sounds like it's coming from the east, but somebody else may hear it and it sounds like maybe it comes from the west. And then the police is driving around trying to figure out where the shot is. So sharpshooters help narrows down a little bit. Also, putting cameras in hot spots helps create that. But we got to work with our city council members, our state legislators, to help make our communities a lot better. I really think that a lot of us that are in office are all trying to figure out how we can work together and galvanize our parents. Another thing is gang violence is prevalent. We have to stop ignoring the fact that gangs are loving on our kids, endorsing our kids, supporting our kids, every kid, we can no longer leave any of our kids behind. Every kid needs a skill set. If that's even including in the high schools, our technical programs, and our community colleges, even if it's Job Corps, we need to figure out how all of our kids can be engaged. And I think that's one of the ways that we could do this thing to improve all of our lives.
I love that. I think one of the things I would like to ask you, because I heard you say we would like to get our parents more involved. I think that sometimes, even myself as a parent, I just recently realized that I have a voice, like in my community, you know, outside of just the school. And I think that's the problem. It's lack of education. One of the things that I feel that was really successful and that worked for me during election time, Stacey Abrams had people come to the door. And when they came to my door, they asked me, what are some of the things that you would like to see change in your community right here where you live? And that to me was like, well, I don't even have to go anywhere, and I can give you my feedback. I can tell you what I've been dealing with right here. You know, and I feel like it's more personal. You at my house, like, let me tell you what happened last night while I was over, you know, and people kind of feel that. And so that was amazing to me that she sent people out to do that, and that I was able to actually tell them, like, you know, better support in the school districts, better things like this, better lunch for my kids. I asked them what they have for lunch, and they telling me the stuff that's on the lunch, and it's like, really? You know, I don't know, it's certain things that I feel like I want to help change, but it's like I feel like other parents feel that way too, like we don't know where to start. So I think it's good that you guys are doing these type of events to bring out more people in the community and things of that nature. Now, for anyone that's that wants to learn more or wants to tap in with the Atlanta NAACP, how do they reach either you or the organization as a whole?
And so you can reach us at NAACP, Atlanta.org, AtlantaNAACP.org, and our website. We're on Facebook, YouTube. Go to our channels. We're always in the community hosting events and trying to galvanize our people to work together. Legislation, and you mentioned Stacey Abrams. I wished 100,000 times that Stacey had won, because the governor, our governor, legislated the gun laws and signed off on them. And so any and everybody can get a gun now. And police are not able to ask or inquire, do you have a gun permit? Are you licensed to carry? And so now it's like a free-for-all in a sense. And that has really started to, on the uptick, of reaping havoc in all of our communities. So NAACP, Atlanta.org, reach us 404-524-0580. And we're there Monday through Friday, and a lot of times we're working in the community on the weekends.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate what you all are doing. Stuff like this is just the beginning of, you know, us coming together and making a difference. So thank you for being here, Miss Karen. I appreciate you. More Ash, the Gumbo Show. You guys, we'll be right back.